FRANZ-JOSEF Fries has his hands full in the Customs Museum in Habkirchen on Germany's border with France. The retired customs officer is a volunteer curator of the exhibition in the old border house. There aren't any border controls anymore, and today the museum mostly serves as a symbol of good neighborliness. But now the cross-border friendship faces a new challenge, the coronavirus crisis.
I never thought I'd see Germans having something against the French just because the coronavirus was a bigger problem in France. I would never have believed that this would happen again.
French people faced insults and were accused of spreading the virus before the borders were closed again in March, like at this bridge. A German authority had declared the neighboring French region a risk area. Only those who worked on the other side were allowed to continue crossing the border. Fries says he understands why it had to close.
What can you do? Of course, a virus doesn't stop at any border in the world. It's the people who come across with the virus who spread it.
It hit JEROME LOHMANN hard. He's French and commutes to work in Germany. Then the border was closed overnight without notice. He was allowed to cross the border, but some Germans suddenly began to treat him as a threat.
When you get told that we are now no longer wanted, that really hurts. Why? It's not our fault. Everyone knows it comes from China. It could just as easily have been the Germans who got it worse. It's not our fault. That hurt me.
The mayor of the German border town of Gersheim also has French roots, as his name suggests. CLIVOT read the reports of cross-border commuters from France who were insulted on the streets by people who told them to go back to their corona country. In Germany's Francophile state of Saarland, of all places, Franco-German friendship was being put to the test.
The crisis has shown that this friendship may not be as stable as we imagined and wanted it to be. And I believe that we have work to do to establish a feeling, at least among the locals, that this partnership is important for Europe.
CLIVOT publicly criticized the behavior of his fellow Saarlanders and now faces criticism himself.
I was seriously accused of fake news here because many didn't want what I said to be true. But I think it was important to say loud and clear that we have a problem.
Now that the border is finally open again, the German wants to set an example by visiting his French counterpart in neighboring Klimling.
Bonjour. Bonjour, Michael. Ça va?
Eric Hemmert is experiencing the friendship crisis from the French side. He worries that the German reaction could leave scars.
It's created a climate of distrust. In a way, our history has caught up with us again. The extremism suddenly comes out, in one way or another.
The Klimling War Memorial testifies to the history of a border region that was fought over in the wars between the two countries. The two mayors say it serves as a warning for politicians on both sides. They say that careless statements made the crisis worse.
Political rhetoric also influences people's actions and how they deal with the fear that's around them. And so if you tell them for weeks that you have to protect the Saarlanders from the French, then of course people take that into consideration. And maybe take a rational action. And that's what we've seen here.
The crisis has given the old sign of the European Friendship Bridge in Habkirchen new meaning. Fries, the former customs officer, would like it to be put back in its old place.
You can't break a friendship as strong as that between Germany and France that has grown over decades with nonsense like this. I cannot imagine that this has caused permanent damage. Absolutely not.
In any case, the coronavirus border closure will find a place in FRANZ-JOSEF Fries' Little Museum as a new chapter of Franco-German border history.